What is good, Raider Nation? Is your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's jump right into the topic of this video. The NFL draft is right around the corner, and there is news and rumors on what the plans of the Las Vegas Raiders could be for the 2025 NFL draft. Now, earlier this week, it was reported that the Raiders went ahead and met with Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers as a part of their evaluation process for the draft. Now, Quinn was a high school star, was a 5-star prospect, and was ranked as a #1 overall recruit in that 2021 recruiting class. His high school career was exceptional with nearly 6,500 passing yards and 73 touchdown passes in just 22 games. He initially joined Ohio State, didn't really get any snaps over there, so he transferred to University of Texas, where he overall has had good team success. Over 36 games, he has a 27-9 record as a starter, threw for over 9,000 passing yards, 68 touchdowns, and 24 interceptions, completing about 65% of his passes. In 2023, he led Texas to a 12-2 record, a Big 12 championship, and their first college football playoff appearance. And this last season, 2024, they went back to the playoffs, all the way to the Natty, where they fell short to Ohio State. And in 2024, he threw for over 3,400 passing yards, 31 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. But he did face some issues when it came to inconsistency with his quarterback play and some injuries. But heading into the 2024 college football season, a lot of people considered him as a potential first-round pick, but now it's widely projected that he's going to be a day 2 or day 3 selection. He's had some inconsistency issues with his quarterback play, and he has shown some signs of bad decision making under pressure. And honestly, I'm not even sure if he was the best quarterback on that Texas football roster last season. And personally, I'm not a huge fan of Quinn Ewers, but he may be somebody the Raiders consider as a day 3 pick. But another quarterback prospect that is very interesting is Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe. According to Tristan Kuhn, who most know him as Raider Scout, he is supposed to be someone that has some inside knowledge and is tapped into a certain extent when it comes to NFL draft and Raiders information. But according to his post on X, he is saying that the Raiders are going to host quarterback Jalen Milroe for a private meeting. Now, Jalen Milroe is a super exciting prospect due to his elite physical traits and the upside he brings as a quarterback. He was a 4-star recruit heading into Alabama, and over 2 seasons as a starter at Alabama. In 2023, he had a 12-1 record, completed nearly 66% of his passes, threw for over 2,800 passing yards, 23 touchdown passes, and 6 interceptions, and he rushed for 531 yards, 12 rushing touchdowns. And in 2024, 9-4 record, 66% completion rate, over 2,800 passing yards again, only 16 passing touchdowns, 11 interceptions, but his rushing yards 726 and rushing touchdowns 20, which is absolutely crazy production as a runner. That's damn near running back stats when it comes to those touchdowns. But when you're talking about a guy like Jalen Milroe, he's a very intriguing prospect. He's that ultimate boom or bust candidate, and his draft projection is all over the place right now, which also makes it, super interesting come draft night. Where is he gonna go? Is he gonna go early? Is he gonna begin to fall down draft boards? To start this offseason, he had a bad Senior Bowl performance. Now at the NFL Combine, he did a little bit better, had a solid performance overall, especially on those deep ball drills. And he recently hosted his pro day at Alabama, where he impressed. And the biggest news, the biggest headline was that 40-yard dash time. Alabama reported that he ran a 4.37 on his second attempt at the 40-yard dash, which is absolutely crazy. Now, not 100% sure if that's an official time, but look, whether or not he's a 4.3 or 4.4 guy, whatever the case may be, it's super obvious that this guy is a superhuman type of athlete playing quarterback. With him being 6'2", 225 pounds, running a sub 4.4 and has a super strong arm, and that's ultimately why he has so much upside as a prospect. and why a lot of people are excited about the potential he could bring to the NFL to become a dynamic playmaker at the next level. But overall, he's still a pretty raw prospect as a quarterback, still has inconsistency issues with his quarterback play, has some issues with accuracy, especially in intermediate throws. And a lot of people have questions about how he could adapt in a pro-style NFL offense. But it is interesting that the Raiders are going to meet with him. I mean, like I said, his draft stock is all over the board. According to most mock drafts, he is ranging from a late first round pick to even a fourth round pick. I've seen some people project him as. For instance, some analysts see him as a fit for teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are selecting at 21. Maybe they could go after a guy like Jalen Milroe. I mean, year in and year out, you see NFL teams reach for a quarterback. It's such a high demand. Now, overall, what do I think about Jalen Milroe? Honestly, to start this offseason, I wasn't a huge fan of him. I'm usually not a huge fan of these athletic quarterbacks that have issues when it comes to throwing the football. But as the offseason has progressed, especially with us addressing the quarterback position, getting a veteran quarterback, and most importantly, who we hired at the offensive coordinator position, this is definitely an option I am totally open to, but it's just all going to depend on what his draft stock is going to be. I don't think he's worth a first round pick in my opinion. Ideally, if you could get him in like the third round, I would absolutely love this type of move. Look, I would even go as far as like second round pick. If they selected him, I would not be completely mad at it at all. And like I said, it's mainly just due to the situation the Raiders are in right now. I think if you drafted a quarterback like Jalen Milroe, this is a really good situation for him to walk into. You know, if you're drafting Jalen Milroe and you're expecting to throw him out there first season and expect him to be the savior of your franchise, that's a bad idea. That's not going to work. But with the Raiders trading for a veteran quarterback in Geno Smith, we know what he brings to the table. He's going to bring a solid floor at the quarterback position. And depending on what the Raiders sign him to when it comes to his contract extension, this is a good situation because you don't have to throw Jalen Milroe out there. You can let him sit for a year, 2 years, whatever it takes. And ultimately, the offensive coordinator we have with Chip Kelly, I absolutely love that move. And when you're talking about offensive-minded coaches, Chip Kelly is really one of those coaches that you could argue is that quote-unquote quarterback whisperer. He has familiarity working with mobile quarterbacks, and he's an offensive play caller that plays to the strengths of his team and his personnel on offense. So given this situation, I would absolutely love it if the Raiders went ahead and drafted a guy like Jalen Milroe. But like I said, it all depends on where his draft stock is going to lie. I don't want us to draft him at number 6. Don't really think he's a first round talent quarterback. But overall, I am very open to the idea and the possibility of the Raiders drafting Jalen Milroe, especially due to the situation we're in. I think it would be worth the risk, but it just depends on where he goes, where he lands in the draft. First round to me is too rich. I can definitely live with like a second round pick. A lot of people have been saying that this draft class is pretty weak, so I hope maybe that could lower the draft stock of a guy like Jalen Milroe. And if that happens, that would be a great situation for the Raiders to make, in my opinion. But Raider Nation, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below of the Raiders meeting with Jalen Milroe and also meeting with Quinn Ewers out of Texas. Let me know in that comment section down below. But with that being said, Raider Nation, that is all for you guys in today's video. Anybody that is new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, I will see you guys in the next one.